Welcome to Thalir. This is a place called Bud. This is budding forth for a new life, and we are Capuchins working for the renewal of the society and the church.
Dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, today is the 7th day of the Novena, the 1st of October. We are very happy to have Fr.Markus Heinz, wire from a Franciscan friar, with us today. He is the executive director of the Franciscans International and belongs to the German province of the Friars Minor. After joining the Friars Minor in 1980, Fr.Markus studied theology in Freiburg in Germany and Lucerne in Switzerland. After almost 4 years working as a parish priest in Salmünster in Germany, he moved to Frankfurt, where for almost 20 years he engaged in social work. This spanned from supporting children and youth from migrant families to voluntary pastoral work in prisons, in houses hosting people with HIV and AIDS, and in homeless centers. From 2003 to 2010, Fr.Markus served as the coordinator of Justice, Peace and Integrity of Creation for the Friars Minor in the Western Province, and globally as part of the animation committee for JPIC. In the same period, between 2003 to 2009, he was also appointed as the member of the International Board of Directors of Franciscans International. In September 2010, he moved to Geneva as the regional director of the Franciscans International before he was appointed executive director in 2013. Here comes Brother Markus Heinz, Franciscan friar.
Dear sisters and brothers, as Franciscans we celebrate the vigil of the feast of our Father and Brother St. Francis as his transitus, his passage from this world to heaven. Before Jesus went to heaven, he asked his disciples, "Go out to the whole world, proclaim the gospel to all creation." This is the mission of all Christians, of our church and our Franciscan family. We call the Eucharist Holy Mass, which comes from the Latin word missa and means that we are in mission, that we are sent to proclaim the good news to all creation, to all world. When you leave the Upper Basilica San Francesco in Assisi through the main door, you see 2 big paintings at the back wall: the Ascension of Christ and Francis preaching the birds. Both paintings are in correlation to each other. The mission that Jesus was asking his disciples before his ascension, go out to the whole world, proclaim the gospel to all creation, Francis put in practice, preaching the good news to all creation. We, as followers of St. Francis, as sisters and brothers of the Franciscan family, we are called to the same mission. Francis asks us to preach the gospel first of all through our lives, the way how we live together as communities of sisters and brothers, and how we treat others. This is our first and foremost way to preach. But then we are also asked to talk about our faith and hope, and to even remind the leaders of the world to follow the gospel, as St. Francis did in his letter to the rulers of the people. You, as Franciscans, you put this mission in practice in your communities and in your services in the different parishes and schools, in hospitals, and in many different initiatives through which you take care of those who are often forgotten or discriminated against. In this time that our world is challenged by the pandemic, so many Franciscans preach the good news by taking care of those most affected. At the same time, we fulfill our mission by challenging the political leaders, both on local level as well as on the global level. We remind them on their mission as politicians to take care of their people, especially of those who are marginalized or who live in poverty. We, as one large family of Franciscans, also appeal to the socio-economic and cultural leaders of their special role to focus on the marginalized and to work for the rights of the last, lost, and the least. This becomes our joint venture through the global mission of Franciscans International, our Franciscan voice at the United Nations. We do this in tradition of our Father Francis. For more than 30 years, Franciscans International, together with our Franciscan sisters and brothers who spend their lives with the people on the grassroots level, we bring the voice of the people to the attention of the political leaders on the global level. In this way, we influence policy-making processes to make sure that the dignity of all human persons is respected. At the same time, we use different mechanisms that the United Nations put in place to force national leaders to respect human rights in their countries. Let me share with you 3 short examples. Together with Father Intl, a friar minor from the Philippines, who works tirelessly for the victims of Duterte's so-called war on drugs, Franciscans International could draw the United Nations' attention to the alerting situation there. Sister Diane, a Franciscan missionary of Mary, takes care of countless migrants in Mexico and explained with the help of Franciscans International the situation to the Human Rights Council so that the world community knows better about the real situation and hopefully take action. The Capuchin friar Father Auguste, together with the Franciscan family of Benin, works since decades against the killings of the so-called witch children in their country. Through the interventions of Franciscans International at the Human Rights Council, we managed that the state of Benin finally condemned this ritual infanticide and takes action against it. There are many other examples how the Franciscan family put in practice the sermon to the birds through Franciscans International at the United Nations to fulfill the mission Jesus gave us. And there are countless examples of such sermons by Franciscans around the world, including you. With this novena, we prepare ourselves to the celebration for the feast of our Father and Brother St.Francis. Let's take this opportunity to reflect on our own lives and to follow his example, preaching the birds. Go out to the whole world, proclaim the gospel to all creation. May God bless us in our mission.